here now, today we're going to talk about HTML attributes. So HTML attributes provide additional information about HTML elements. So we're going to talk about HTML attributes, and then after that, we're going to go to DeepSeek and what ChatGPT to ask also, so that they can give us also their insights. And then we're going to we're going to learn through the three platform. So HTML attributes. All HTML elements can have attributes. Attributes provide additional information about elements. Attributes are always specified in the stat tag. Attributes usually come in name value pair, like name equal to value. So as they say here, all HTML elements can have an attribute, and then attribute provide additional information. So all the attributes, they're inside here. As you can see, you have your tag there, and then where the tag is closing the side here. So you can have any element here, which applies only for the first tag, the opening tag element. But here, you're never going to have anything there. So the attributes always happen here. So now we have, as you can see, another attribute there. We have the image attributes. So we're going to try it. So as you can see, we have the image. So we put an attribute there, image, and then we have breathe. So this is come like this. You're going to always use like that. For instance, if you want to change the size, 200 by 200, we run it. As you can see, the stuff change. And then here you can change the image. If you want to change the image, put a different image there. Yeah. So that is the attribute. If later, for instance, you remove this one, you're gonna see it's gonna show anything. Broken image. So yeah, so this is the way that attributes work. So there are two ways to specify the URL in the source attribute. So we have absolute URL, links to an external image that is hosted on another website. Example, we have this one here. External image might be under copyright if you don't get permission, blah, blah. So these certain things that you're going to have to know about later. So external images might be under copyright. If you do not get permission to use it, you may be in violation of copyright law, blah, blah. So this is about image law. So relative URL. So we have links to an image that is hosted within the website. So we have two ways of hosting the image, as you can see here. If it's like that, so the image is coming straight from your own local machine and under the folder that you are using. As you can see here, we're using W3Schools. So in the system of W3Schools, this element is already in the their system. So that's why you can see it's like that. But normally we can have something like, you're gonna have like a www dot something, so that you can have all your all image. Yeah, so now those are the image. This is the way that you use the attributes when it comes to image. We have some other attributes which we call style attributes. So this is we call inline style. The style attribute is used to add styles to an element such as color, font style, and more. So basically, an attribute that we use inside a tag, HTML tag, is made to modify whatever box or content we have inside here. So now let's see this example here. So as you can see, this is a paragraph. Put yellow, we put, let's say, for instance, green. You see, modify is modifying what? The text color. And then let's say, for instance, we want background color. For instance, we add the background. So that's, we're gonna go through and we're gonna start. We're going to study what CSS. So this is, you can see the background color there, and then let's give it a padding of 20 pixel. Don't worry about, you're gonna learn the CSS later. So this is the purpose of attributes, is to modify is to help you modify the element, to customize the element. That is the role of an attribute. It can be a modification of element, or do some interactive for that particular element. So those one we're gonna learn about it later. So, and then we have other attributes that we use in the HTML. So as you can see, for the HTML, we call this one language. So let's say, for instance, your website, your web page has a different language. So we're gonna have one that is EN is English, if or French, and so forth. Now we have that one there. This is kind of like an example to use. So this is the way that we use an attribute. You can see title. We test this one here. So we have a tooltip, mouse over, paragraph to display the title attributes as tooltip. Yeah, this one sometimes works in different browser. Yeah, so we have this one here. So we're using a tooltip for there. And then so we suggest always use lowercase attributes. The HTML standard does not require lowercase attribute names. The title attributes and all other attributes can be written with uppercase or lowercase, like title or title. However, W3C recommend lowercase attribute in HTML and demand lowercase attribute for stricter document type like XHTML. Those other stuff you're gonna learn them later. So here we have an attribute that we are using here, as you can see. So however, good. So we're href. We have our link there. As you can see, visit our HTML. So they're giving you, so this for if you click on the button, so it's going to redirect you to a page. So this is the way that we have it there. And then here, as you can see, with attributes, we must always use double quotes to put whatever that you want in your attribute. So the attribute name equal double quotes, and then you put your stuff. So you don't have to have it like this. So without double quotes, so you must always have a double quotes. Let's see. So you can see double quotes, double quotes, double quote, the name of the attribute equal double quote, you put whatever stuff inside. So as you can see, all HTML element can have an attribute, href attribute of A, that is only for A, SRS source attribute for image, with height attribute for image, alt attribute of image, style attribute for any element, language attribute for HTML, title attribute defines some extra information about an element. This is the example that has been given there. Is exercise for you to choose from to do exercises, and then here more information about attributes. So we have a complete list of all attributes for each element is listed in the stuff here. So yeah, we're gonna see all the list of attributes. Yeah, when you go to W3Schools, you're gonna see we have all the list of attributes. So it's really nice for you to learn those one, because of it's going to help you in the long run. So, and the beautiful there. So for building application, building game, building website pages, building whatever interactive forms and stuff. So you're gonna really need the attribute, and then they're explaining any elements, their purpose for those attributes as explained here. Yeah. So all right, and then here you can see there is an example for every element there on how to use them and so forth. Okay, so now you're going to go up, and then copy, and then we go to ChatGPT, and what can a beginner understand in a nutshell about HTML attributes. So yeah, you can see a bit of description there. So in a nutshell, HTML attributes are extra piece of information that you add to HTML element to control their behavior or appearance. Here's what a beginner should know. So what we have here, so here, as you can see, in a nutshell, HTML attributes are extra piece of information that you add to HTML element to control their behavior or appearance. Here's what a beginner should know. Attributes are added inside the opening tag of an HTML element. They come in name, value, pay, for example. So you have this, and then we have that. So we did talk about it already. Attribute provide additional details that are in part of the element content. So all the items that are giving, so those are the most important parts to know. But most of the time, the global attribute that we're gonna always use is the first thing is class, and then after that we're gonna is style, and then we have the ID. So most of the time you're gonna use the class, and then some of the time style, and then ID. So ID is unique identification name of that particular element. Class, that we're gonna learn it nicely when we're gonna do CSS, so that you can understand the stuff nicely. Okay. So you're gonna take the same question and then ask DeepSeek. So now, as you can see, what can a beginner understand in a nutshell about HTML attributes? This just we are defining. As you can see, they did also give the HTML attributes somewhere here. Attributes add extra info to element. They go in the opening tag, group element, class, unique identifier, and element. So we use group element for CSS and JavaScript. This class. This is a unique identifier and element, and then specify the source of the image, and the alt, the name of the image. So here you can see class, that's gonna help us to target the class and then give it a CSS. And then here target the button if we want to give it a JavaScript action. So there's an example there. Okay, you can see DeepSeek is having a bit of a server error. So yeah, so that's it. So that is the difference. So now we're gonna go to the next step, which is headings. So we're gonna talk about it in the next video. Thank you so much. If you like this video, click a thumbs up and then subscribe for more. Thank you.